Hey everyone, Professor Baldwin here, and we're going to factor this trinomial, even though it doesn't look like a trinomial. Notice how the terms aren't in the correct order? Well, we're going to rewrite it first and put it in the correct order, or standard form. That gives us negative 8x squared minus 2x plus 3. And now that it is in standard form, or the correct order, we can go ahead with factoring. And remember our first question, is there a GCF? Yes, there is a GCF. You never want to have a trinomial that starts with a negative. So if you ever see a negative for your leading coefficient, that is definitely the GCF. So here we have a negative 1 as our only GCF. And we factor out that negative 1, and it gives us the trinomial 8x squared plus 2x minus 3. So factoring out the negative 1 just changes the signs for all of the terms. Now notice that our remaining trinomial inside those parentheses has a leading coefficient that isn't 1. That means we want to factor with that key number method. A times c, or 8 times negative 3, which is negative 24, and b, which is the middle term, 2. So two numbers that multiply to negative 24, but at the same time they add to 2. So we're looking for two numbers that are going to be relatively close together. And to multiply to a negative, one's negative, one's positive. How about 6 and 4? Now, which one has to be negative? How about negative 4? 6 minus 4 gives us 2, and 6 times negative 4 gives us negative 24. Remember, these two values are what we're using to rewrite that middle term. So 2x is now going to be written as 6x minus 4x. And the other terms all stay the same, 8x squared and minus 3. And don't forget that GCF. Now that we've rewritten that middle term as two terms, we have 4 terms, and we factor by grouping. The first two terms have 2x in common, so that leaves behind a binomial of 4x plus 3. And remember, when we're factoring, we're trying to get a second binomial in that second grouping that's the same, 4x plus 3. Notice we have a 4x and a 3, but they're both negative. If we factor out a negative 1, that gives us a positive 4x plus 3 as our factored binomial. And we bring down that GCF of negative 1. Now we factor out that binomial they have in common, 4x plus 3, and that leaves behind the binomial 2x minus 1, and our GCF in front, which is negative 1. Now remember to always check your factors, and when you have 3 terms, you want to start with those binomials and use FOIL. And that gives us 8x squared. Outer is minus 4x, inner is 6x, and last is minus 3. And we'll put that GCF in front. Now let's simplify or combine like terms within those parentheses. We have 8x squared minus 4x and positive 6x become a positive 2x and a minus 3. Now when we distribute that negative 1 GCF through to each of those terms, we get negative 8x squared minus 2x plus 3, which is the trinomial we began with. And these 3 terms are therefore our final answer.